Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I'm sorry I've been a bit occupied with work for the past few weeks and could not upload. In today's video, I would like to continue with what we have discussed, and I would like to pick up an important aspect which I recently saw while I was observing some people making decisions in their lives. And then I observed it within myself as well, and I thought it would be nice to share with you. And that aspect is the thin line between judgment and perception. Okay? Generally, most people are concluding or thinking that their personal judgment is what they are perceiving. Okay? The act of perception. And when I use the act of perception, I mean information coming to your eyes, to your ears, to your senses, and you receive all information. Okay, this is receiving via perception. And then there is the act of judging that information. Okay, I see something and I judge it, whether I like it or not like it. Now, perception and judgment happen quite fast. So perception is always happening as long as you're alive, and then you never realize how quickly you judge the perception. You put it in a category of likeness, dislikeness, or something else. But the main part is that when you keep judging the perception, eventually you start doing it so quickly and so effectively that you think that your judgment is what you are seeing, is what you are perceiving. Okay? And that is where delusion begins in life. That is where problem starts to happen in life. If you stay with perception, then you have a clear understanding of what's going on around you. Okay? But if you stay with judgment, then you have an understanding of what's going around according to your judgment, not actually how it is going around. Okay, so I'm sorry. If you see that if you do not touch the incoming information, if you do not affect it in any way by becoming emotional about it or putting it in a category or something, then the incoming information tells you what is actually going on around you. Then you can have some logical analysis of that information. For example, you can have a logical understanding of what's going on, and then your action is much more efficient in solving problems of your life. But when you are judging the perception, when you are completely judging your perception, when you come to that stage where everything that is perceived is judged straight away, and you don't have this thin line between judgment and perception, then you start seeing things, you start perceiving things not as they are, but as you want them to be. And that's where the big problem comes, because then you perceive something according to how you want it to be, but then your action eventually is incomplete, because in reality that thing might be something else, and the effects of those and the effect of that actuality, what the thing actually is, what the situation actually is, might be something else than what you have judged. Okay, So living with judgment all the time is actually quite a stupid thing to do. Judgment can be useful in certain scenarios, but I think in general life we have become so good or so used to of using judgment all the time that we don't realize that when we are judging and when we are perceiving. So in your everyday living, can you detect this fact? Can you sense that you are perceiving and judging together at the same time? Okay? You can start a small exercise that once you catch yourself judging, you can then re-observe the same phenomenon or the same action or the same situation and try not to judge it. Just stay with the perception. And then see if you see things in a little bit different way, or do you see them in the same way as you saw them with the act of judgment. Okay? So I hope you would try to do this, and I would also try now to be more regular, as where I was the duties in which I was occupied have been finished. So let's try to meet again on the weekend. Thank you.